G'day, g'day. Fancy meeting you here, hey? Sorry about that. Dad jokes are my thing. I like to think I'm funny. And this one's about attraction. I also like to think I'm good looking. So, but it's not that kind of attraction, sadly. So, no more comments about my good looks. Attraction. It's a super cool one in the world of, from the perspective of information. Now, this, or how I speak about human beings here is from the perspective of a mathematical model. And that's unusual for, we don't often talk about ourselves from the perspective of a mathematical model. And I get that. Why I've done the mathematical model thing is, it takes out as much bias as I can see as possible. Like numbers is a game. Set rules. I can't say 1 + 1 = 10. So it limits me. I can't use my imagination. I can't extrapolate things, and I've got to tie them back into something. So I'm using math. And I'm using to take out my bias. Which is also a bit weird. Attraction. You will notice, if we're just taking out all the thoughts and feelings and all that sort of stuff, you will notice that the people you like to hang around are like you. That's not an epiphany for most people. But it's pretty cool. Because it says that there's something about information. Why? Something about us, each and every individual human being, that has us attracted to other human beings. And I'm brought to, and this isn't about human beings. This example is a slightly different one. You see, it's quite obvious that you're attracted to people who have similar interests, similar thoughts and feelings, similar experiences in life. This is not an epiphany. It's not a massive stretch. But it is cool to think that, or consider why. And what has us be attracted? Because funnily enough, we seem to be attracted to people who also disagree with us. And if you look out in the world, it's pretty obvious. One of the easiest ways to get a response or get information is to actually post the incorrect answer on the internet. It's proven. The fastest way to get information about something is to post the incorrect piece of information on the web. But look it up; it's out there somewhere. I should have grabbed the link, but it's been going on for a long time. Proved a long time ago. That's fascinating. So not only are we generally attracted to people who like to do the same things as us, or agree or think the same way as us, we're also attracted to people who we are diametrically opposed to, which is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal insight. And you can see in the world, and as you start to test this for yourself, I did this for myself, I started to notice how often I was bothered by what other people got up to. And not in I just got inquisitive. I got fascinated. That's a cool F word, that one. I got fascinated with I had a propensity to make people wrong. Super cool. Super cool. Which brings us to, what has us be attracted? Maybe I should wipe this thing off the board, this little I and I. I don't know. We'll go over here. I is like attracted. I don't even know how to do that. It's to I. Now, funnily enough, it's like the opposite of I is also attracted to I. So if you are your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, you're also attracted to your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And you're also, like anything that is the opposite of your thought, feelings, and opinions, you're attracted to as well. It's this weird thing. Now, we see this a few places. We see this show up in a few different places. We see this show up in, and there's a reason why this little fella right down here is there. We see this similar behaviour in gravity. It's fantastic. It's super, super cool. There's something about either the fabric of space-time or information or how we think that has us attract or repel. Or repel? No, we're just attracted. This one always, gets in my head because it's quite challenging to be, to distinguish this or talk about this when in a lot of ways we are this way. Now the really cool thing about it is this starts early, like ridiculously early. And it starts, I noticed with my children really young, and then when they played the opposite game. But it would have noticed significantly more than that. And the other really cool thing is it's almost exactly the same as this in a lot of ways. Like if you only ever learnt what a dog is, everything's a dog or nothing. Or not a dog. So you're either attracted to dogs and people who know what dogs are, or everything that's not dogs. So it's sort of like a different perspective on reflection. And it shows up and it fits. And it brings us to some math that's pretty fancy, it's pretty cool. And I like that. And I like that it creates not just, where's that bit? My toilet paper. I like that it adds an extra dimension. It makes it more complicated, but it adds an extra dimension, and I'll tell you why. So if you are this eye, and there's this information, we'll just do that little eye, that you agree with. And this is information you disagree with, so this is information agree, and this is information disagree. You are attracted to both. In a lot of ways, they're the same damn thing. Because you couldn't disagree with it if you didn't have something that was opposed to it. It's a cool concept to think. Right? If you have an opinion that you disagree with, you've got to have something that disagrees with it. So the disagreement is that the opinion you disagree with is actually very similar, almost exactly the same to the opinion you've got. Now that's a concept, it's a challenge to grasp, and I get that could occur like a reach. I'm reaching further than I otherwise, or I should, and I would have to agree with you right now. And you could think about it this way. You ever done a puzzle where the piece is cut out and you agree that the world looks like that, and the only way to disagree is to actually have a piece that slots in? Like the conversation you're having, what you're saying about someone else's opinion, some other information, it is only lives in your world because it's a disagreement with that information, something you decided. So it's super cool. And if you look around at your friends, very similar. Like I have some friends that I really like to intellectually challenge. And I have some friends that disagree with me. And it takes something to create something else, which is why I created this project called Wityal. It's a completely different way of relating to human beings, but in a lot of ways that's how we relate to people. We either agree or disagree. And there really isn't much in between. You go and look at most conversations, there's not like, in a world of this is agree and this is disagree. So this is agree and this is a disagree. How often do you see conversations that go up and down, in other words, sideways? More conversations about like things that are the same. It's rare. We don't process information like that in a lot of ways. It takes effort. Attraction. These two tie all those three together. Well, they tie the whole lot, but we'll get there. So that's attraction for you, ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else might be watching this video. Super cool. Thanks for watching, champions. Thanks for making this possible. I'm loving it. I really do. Far out, I like this.